speaker. This way you don't have to, hang on. Speaker view. Oops, maybe if I mute everybody, that will work better. I'm gonna mute you guys, but I'll unmute you at the end. And let's see if that works. Okay, close. And is it gonna switch? Spotlight view. Oh, where's all my people? I lost you, darn it. I'm gonna go back to gallery and then just click on myself. Let's see, can I do it that way? Okay, sorry, I think I'm gonna have to do it this way. Okay, I've not figured out how to do that yet, but I'm gonna have to Google that and figure it out. So, I can just see myself, unfortunately. So if you guys do need to get my attention, you can click the chat button. I think it's in the top right corner, and you can tell me via text if there's something going on. Or if you need to drop off for any reason, feel free to drop off, and I will not be offended because we have to do that. Ah, we have somebody else joining us. Hooray. All right, so I will unmute you guys at the end of class and we will get started. We are gonna start on our rollers today. So we're gonna lay on the roller with our head at one end and our bottom at the other end. So grab your rollers, you can get your tennis balls out of the way. And actually, before you get too comfy on your roller, make sure you also have a stretchy band within your vicinity. So it's in the same room with you, so you don't have to run off and get it later. A stretchy band or a belt or a strap would work. And we're gonna just slide our bottoms to one end, make sure that your head is supported by the other end. And take your feet nice and wide apart so you don't feel like you're trying to balance right now. You're just gonna let your body relax on that roller. And start to just connect to your breath. Oops, gotta just jump up and accept a couple more people into class. So nice deep breaths in and out. Good morning, Sabine. And as you're laying there, you're just trying to allow your spine to start to soften into that roller. I'm gonna keep talking, but I gotta let a couple more people in. So just slow, deep breaths in and out. Good. Hi, guys. So we're just starting on the roller. And with your feet wide apart, take your arms wide apart as well. And we're just gonna start to do a little rock and roll from side to side. So we're just gonna let our hips roll to the right, let your head slowly roll to the left. And take a breath in when you get there. Just inhale into that stretch. And then exhale, roll through center. Letting your body stay nice and heavy. And roll over to the other side and take a breath in when you get there. And exhale as you come back through center. And again to the other side. Inhale. Letting the contents of your body feel nice and heavy and soft. And exhale as you come back through center. Inhale again over to the other side. Exhale, slowly back to center. Let's do it one more time on each side. Inhale. Nice, relaxed feeling through the body. Letting the weight of your body get heavier and heavier into the roller. And over to the other side. Inhale. And exhale, slowly bring the weight back to center. Good, and we're just gonna slide the hands down by your sides. And as you inhale this time, let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears. Really feel the lift of the shoulders, the shoulder girdle. And as you exhale, roll the shoulders back towards the floor and down. And inhale them up. And back and down. So you're starting to feel how much movement can your shoulders make. And I don't want you to add tension to the shoulders, but I do want you to feel kind of that squeeze of the shoulder blades around the roller as they go back and down. And I want you to see how much you can pull the breath up into the shoulders as you inhale. Your hands can just stay heavy on the floor. Just gonna let one more person in. There we go. So we're just inhaling the breath all the way up into the shoulders and into these upper lungs. Exhaling and feeling that breath kind of move down. One more time. Okay. What's that? Someone's telling me they're trying to get into class. Hopefully they got it. And do one more up. And exhale back and down. Now this time reach your arms up to the ceiling and flip your palms to face each other. And we're going to inhale and reach up and really stretch the shoulders away from the roller. And then as you exhale, draw the shoulders down. And again, inhale, reaching. Exhale, relaxing the shoulders down. 2 more times. Inhale, lengthening up. Exhale, shoulders melting down. And one more time, reaching up. Trying to get movement with your breath into those back ribs. Now drop the shoulders down. Keep the shoulders heavy. And we're going to hold on to your elbows. So wrap your arms around so you're just holding your elbows, making kind of a box with your arms like this. And you're going to inhale, take that box over your head. It's okay if your ribs lift up a little bit. You're kind of yawning in that stretch here. And then exhale, bring the arms back up. Good. Inhale, try that again. Reaching arms over the head. Exhale, bring the arms back up. Relax the shoulders down. Inhale one more time. Arms go over the head. Now open the arms apart and let the arms come out to a wide V shape. And as you exhale, we're going to bend the elbows into kind of a W shape. So pulling the elbows towards the roller and reaching the arms up into your V. Exhale, bend the elbows, draw the elbows towards the roller. And inhale, reaching up into your V. One more time, drawing the elbows into the roller. Exhaling and inhaling up into your V. And this time as you exhale, slowly open the arms out in a big circle out to the sides. You can also bend the elbows if that's too much weight for your shoulders. Start to slowly bring the arms down and down. And then rotate the palms down to the floor. Good, just let your shoulders relax there. And then 1 second, I'm having to change the audio for a moment. Hold on a second. Continue. Okay, maybe that worked. Okay, so now that we are just relaxed on the roller, I want you to kind of inchworm down the roller towards the end of it so that your head is just being supported on that edge of the roller. So the base of your skull is on the edge of the roller. And we're going to just massage those neck muscles right at the top of the neck and at the bottom of the skull. So just let your skull or your head roll or fall to one side. And then come back through center. So kind of like what we were doing before, where you're just letting the weight roll one way and then falling back to center. And let the weight pour the other way. Think about your brain. Imagine it's just this sort of pool of water in there. And it's just sloshing over to the right ear and sloshing over to the left ear. You can close your eyes. And allow the eyeballs to relax in those eye sockets. Let your jaw relax. And just find the breath in that movement. Inhaling to one side. Maybe exhaling to the other side. And notice what kind of range of motion feels good in your neck. Does it feel good when you go to the right? Does it feel good when you go to the left? Or do you find that at a certain point you feel tension in the neck. Tension on the shoulder, maybe. Can you go farther to one side than the other? And then bring the head back to center. And we're just gonna, you might want to open your eyes and watch for a second. We're gonna take our head, and you can even hold on to your head and kind of lift it up and take it off to one side of the roller. So I'm going off to the left first, and I'm gonna turn my head to the left a little bit, and it's kind of pushing my right shoulder open. You can open up that right arm behind you a little bit, and that's gonna give you an intense stretch through your pec muscle and possibly into your neck. Just see how that feels. If that's too much, then use your hand to kind of pick your head up and slide it back onto the roller. I want you to just see if you can let the neck and shoulder relax here. It just is a very strange looking position, but it should feel good. And if it doesn't feel good, bring your head back up onto the roller. If it's too much stretch for your shoulder, bring your head back up onto the roller. Or you can try a different adjustment. You can try turning your head towards the roller a little bit, and that might change it for you, might make it feel better. You may also feel the pressure between your shoulder blade and your spine. There's a nice little pressure there, opening up that area. And when you are ready to come out of that stretch, do take your hand on your head and kind of pick up your head and help it back up onto the roller. And then we're going to take your other hand and try to pick your head up and let it come off the roller to the other side, opening up your opposite hand. Just seeing how that stretch feels. Again, if it's too intense, you can bring your head back up, or if you have a pillow nearby, you can also put a pillow under your head a little bit so your head's not quite as far down towards the floor. And just breathe into that stretch, opening the pec up and feeling that movement between the shoulder blade and the spine. There's not movement, but it's space. You're creating space. We really need the breath to help us here. So take lots of nice deep inhales and exhales. One more breath here. And then use your hand to help you bring your head back up onto the roller. And just bring your arms down by your sides. We're going to melt off the roller now, just onto the floor, but try to pick a side that feels like it's going to be smooth. So see if you can make it smooth as you melt off the roller. Push that roller up from under you and just lay on your back. And just see how that feels in your shoulders, see how that feels in the back of the neck. See how that feels all the way down the spine. I always love coming off of the roller, it feels so good. So now we're going to use our tennis ball or our Franklin ball. And we're going to lean over and try to tuck it behind your shoulder. So it's going right at the top of the shoulder. If I'm sitting up, I'm just sliding it right up here. So it's kind of in my upper trapezius, right where I like to grab my shoulder and massage it, or have someone else do that for me. And once you get it there, and there's really no wrong place to put it, but it should feel good. It should feel like it's not right on the bone. And you can add a pillow under your head if it feels like it's too intense. And then we're just gonna move the arm up and down a few times. Let me just go ahead and let somebody else into class. Hold on one second. Okay. So we are moving that arm over the head gently, and then bringing the arm back up to the ceiling. And just seeing how that pressure feels. If it feels like you need support under the arm when it goes back, take your roller over your head like this, and that way your arm can rest on the roller so it's not going quite as far towards the floor. And you can really let the arm relax for a moment when it gets back there. But if it feels good to go beyond the roller, you can move the roller out of the way. And just see what that range of motion feels like. And then we're going to keep the arm over the head this time. And we're gonna do a little shrug, like you're pulling your shoulder up to your ear, and then release down. And shrug up, and release down. And again, you can have your hand on the roller, kind of rolling the roller up and down. As you inhale, shrug, exhale, release. I'm gonna have to adjust my ball. Do that 2 more times. Reach and release and reach and release. Now this time reach again, but let your head turn away from your arm that's reaching. Just hold it there for a moment. And then take that arm slowly out to the side. You can bend your elbow if it feels too intense. You can put it like a goalpost, or you can have the arm straight, but keep your head turning away from that arm. You might feel that stretch going all the way down your arm. And then we're going to slide the arm down by your side and across your body so you're holding onto your opposite shoulder now. And just draw a few circles here with your shoulder that has the ball under it. Your head can come back to center. And you can move the ball a little bit here and there just to see if there's other spots that might need a little more attention. Maybe you need to go farther out or closer to the spine or a little farther down. And then go the other way with the shoulder. I can't remember which way I was going actually. And once you feel like that area is kind of warmed up and gotten a good massage, gotten some blood flowing into that area, then just reach and grab the ball, take it out from under the shoulder, let both arms come down for a moment, and just notice how that shoulder and even that rib cage feels a little different on that side now. And roll your head from side to side, just see if there's any difference in how the neck is feeling. Take your ball into your opposite hand. So I was rolling out my left shoulder, I've got my ball on my right hand, and try to roll out the front of your shoulder. So I'll sit up and show you. It's going to be kind of from your sternum out towards your shoulder and back, right underneath the collarbone. But you can also kind of move up and down in that armpit area, that backpack strap area, and just see where tight spots might be hiding in the front of the chest. You can do it in a circle or side to side or up and down. Just kind of looking for those tighter spots. And you don't have to push very hard to feel that. You can be very gentle. There's not a lot of muscle, not a lot of fat there. There's mostly just bone. All your ribs. All right, let's bring that ball onto our other shoulder now. So we're gonna lean over, tuck it underneath your shoulder, right at the top, and then take the opposite arm up, or the arm with the ball under it, and slowly start to reach over your head. Inhale. Exhale, bring the arm back up to the ceiling. And inhale, arm goes over the head. Exhale, arm comes back up. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, bring that arm up. Feel heavy through the arm. Feel it dropping into that shoulder socket. And reach. One more time. Reaching the arm up over the head. Keep it there now. Try to shrug the shoulder up. You're reaching even farther with the fingers, and then draw the shoulder down. And it's okay if your ribs pop up a little bit. It's kind of like you're just trying to reach as long as you can through the whole body, through the fingertips, and then relaxing the shoulder down. Inhale. And you might notice the head kind of naturally rolls away from the arm as you reach. And then let the shoulder drop. 2 more times, reaching. And then shoulders relaxing. And this time reach. And let the head roll away from the arm. Just feel that nice push into that ball. Then you're gonna take the arm slowly out to the side. You can bend the elbow or keep it straight, whatever feels good here. Keep the head looking in the opposite direction. Just feeling that stretch in the shoulder. You can also move the ball if you need to. One more breath here. And then we're gonna slide that arm down by your side. Reach the hand across to the opposite shoulder and just roll your head back to center. And start drawing circles with that shoulder. Side is tight. Gentle circles. Massaging those upper traps. Those shrugging muscles that pull your shoulders up into our ears. Trying to release those. And then you can roll the shoulder the other way. Free to move that ball if it needs to be. My doggy. That's it. And then go ahead and roll off the ball. Take the ball out from under your shoulder. Let both arms come down by your sides. And again, just notice how that shoulder feels, how the rib cage feels, maybe how your collarbone feels. It might feel a little more spread out. And take the head from side to side again, nice and slowly. Just see how the neck and shoulders feel now that you've released them a little bit. And then using the ball in your opposite hand, we're going to roll out the front of the shoulder again, going from your sternum across to your shoulder. You can kind of go in between each rib. If you find a tight spot, you can just kind of roll a little bit back and forth, or you can try up and down or in circles. You can also move that out to your armpit and kind of do a little backpack strap, roll up and down. And then just let both arms come down. And again, just take a deep breath into that openness in your chest. See if you can feel the breath spreading it out even more. Good. And I want to use our fingers for a little release now. So take your fingers to your sternum bone. And I'll sit up so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but you can stay laying down. But just feel along that ridgy sternum bone where all your ribs are connecting into it. And come down to the bottom of it. So right where your ribs kind of come up and into that sternum. And just feel along the edges. You don't have to push super hard, but just feel along the edges of those ribs as they go down and out to the sides. And then kind of palpate back up to that center. And if you're feeling any tension along that edge of the rib cage, especially if you kind of pull the fingers under the ribs a little bit, you're going to be feeling where your diaphragm connects. Hopefully that's not grossing anybody out. Sometimes I have my kids do this, they get grossed out. But it's a really nice way to help release some of your abdominal muscles, your diaphragm, your intercostals, and just tension around the organ muscles, around all the muscles that help you breathe. So it's good to kind of check in with them. And you're just going back and forth. You can, if you find a tight spot, just take a deep breath. And see if the fingers can gently sink into you a little bit more. I'm gonna lay down and try that. So you have to relax as you let those fingers sink in to that space. And you can really kind of, once you start to relax, you can really start to pull your fingers underneath the ribs a little bit, which may feel totally disgusting, or it may feel very foreign to you, or it might feel good. It might feel like you're getting a little bit more space for your breath. If it's extremely tight, it might be that you've been coughing or doing a lot of abdominal exercises, and it's good to release a little bit there so that you can feel a little bit more expansive in your breath. I'm doing a little side to side motion here now, massaging my abdominals. And sometimes when you release the diaphragm in the front, it also releases a little bit in the back. So if you're having low back pain, it can soften up all those connections into your back ribs as well. So now just let your arms come down by your sides and just close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in, and imagine the rib cage expanding in all different directions, not just to the front, but to the back and to the floor, out to the sides. Notice if there's any tension in that breath. Do you feel any tightness still along the edges or underneath those ribs? And see if you can breathe into that. Good, and just try one more breath there. Good. We're going to roll onto our sides now and grab our rollers again. So go ahead and push yourself all the way up. Grab a hold of the roller. And now we're going to massage our sort of serratus and armpit area here. So if your roller is hard and it feels too hard on this area, you can put a blanket or a towel over it to soften it up a little bit. But we're going to just put your armpit on it first and hold on to your head with your hand. You can also, if that's uncomfortable, you can also straighten your arm and make a fist with your other hand and rest your head on your fist. That's more comfortable for your neck. But we're going to roll forward and back on that armpit. And it doesn't matter how far forward or how far back you go, but just see how, just check in with those muscles that attach right up there under the shoulder blade and into the armpit. Good. Now, if those are pretty tight, you may want to stay on the armpit, but we are going to move the roller down just a little bit to see how the muscles just below your shoulder blade or at the bottom of your armpit feel. So that's your serratus, that's sort of the top of your serratus. It usually feels pretty tender. Just be gentle, make it small if you need to. And we're going to move it down again just a little farther. Let's see how that feels. And again, you don't have to make this a big forward and back motion. You can make it small. My kitty trying to call my name. Maybe you can hear it, I don't know. I need to let her in. Just one more back and forth. And then we're going to kind of compare this side to our other side. So go ahead and push yourself up to a seated position. So what all those muscles do is they connect to your shoulder blade. So if your shoulder blade doesn't like to move up and down very easily on your back, it's good to roll those out. So take both arms up and just shrug and release a few times. And notice if you feel any difference between that side and that side. Good. And then just take your hands on your ribs again and take another deep breath, kind of feeling like you're expanding those ribs out to the sides. And then as you exhale, see if you can keep expanding the ribs out to the side for as long as you can during that exhale, rather than letting the ribs just collapse in. And try that one more time. Inhale. Feel that expansion of your rib cage. Try to keep it expanding as you exhale. And at the very end of your exhale, let the ribs just relax. Good. And let's bring the roller over to the other arm now. Starting right on the armpit. Hand is holding onto the head, or you can make a little pillow with your fist and roll forward and back. Just feeling how the armpit is feeling. As you roll to the back, you get onto the shoulder blade a little bit. There's a lot of muscles there that might need rolling out too. Just stay connected to your breath as you go back and forth, especially if it's painful, but even if it's not painful, just move with your breath. You'll be inhaling one way, exhaling the other way. And then we're going to move that roller down just a little bit. Right up to the bottom of the shoulder blade. See how that serratus is feeling. Oh. As tender as usual. Stay connected to that breath. And if you're ready to move it down just a little farther, kind of right underneath the shoulder blade, or below the shoulder blade. Oh, even more tender. Kind of that it hurts so good feeling. Hopefully it is for you too. And just do it 1 or 2 more times, back and forth. And then you can use your top hand to push you back up to a seated position. Sitting comfortably, however that is for you. And then let's try reaching those arms up again and then drawing them down. So you can see, I'll turn around for you. You can see the shoulder blade is meant to glide up and down with that movement of your arms. And you want that freedom to move the shoulder blade this way and that way. You also want the freedom to move the shoulder blade towards the spine and away from the spine. So if your arms are going out and in, your shoulder blades should also be going towards and away from the spine. You've got that freedom of motion. You also have shoulder blades doing this and this too. So if your elbows are going swinging out and in, shoulder blades are moving like that. And we want to keep those shoulder blades kind of free floating on those ribs so that our arm doesn't have to just move from the shoulder joint here. Really the whole, your collarbone, your shoulder blade, your rib cage, all of that should be involved in arm movement. All right, that's my spiel. Anyway, let's go ahead and lay back down. You can use your roller for a pillow if you want to lay your head on the pillow, but we're going to use the ball underneath our hip. And I'm going to have us start kind of up and out. So kind of on this outer area of your hip. And you'll know it when you get there because it's going to probably be a little painful. But just roll to the side, kind of put it on that outer upper hip, not on the bone, just below it. And just try letting the knee rotate open, and then you can bring it back to center. So we're not going to keep it out there yet. We're just going to let it move and then come back. We're testing the waters. We're seeing how does that spot feel. Maybe a little tender. If you need to adjust the ball, feel free to adjust it. Ooh. And this is where you may want to either use a pillow or use your roller to prop up your knee. So you could either take the roller out and put it here and let your knee just rest on it so that your knee doesn't have to go out as far. And you don't have to feel as much pressure on that spot. Or if it feels good to have that pressure and you want to have a little more pressure, or if you're using the softer ball, you may want to have a little more pressure, you can tilt. Ooh, I don't think I need that pressure, but you can tilt both knees that direction. Actually, it feels kind of good. And you can see how that feels. And when you get to the right amount of pressure and you get to the place where you can focus on the rest of the body, relaxing, try to focus on shoulders, jaw, all the parts of you that might want to tense up if there's pain. So make sure there's not so much pain that you can't relax the rest of the body. I'm just going to stay here and breathe. So we're not doing a lot of moving around. We're just letting that ball sink into us, releasing that pressure point, making sure it's the right amount of pressure, not too much. And then reconnecting to your breath. If that spot is already relaxing, and you want to try a new spot, just bring the knees back up. You can also stay there if it's not relaxing yet. Roll the ball into your bottom a little bit more, so closer to your sacrum, and down just a little bit. And then try letting that knee open. And then bring it back up. And you can just be testing the waters a little bit there and see how that feels. I'll show you. I'm kind of right in the meaty part of my bottom. Right near the sacrum, not on the sacrum, but just in the middle. That might be going over that piriformis if you're where I am on the bottom. And that piriformis can often be very tight. So if you're willing to let your knee stay there, you can let it open up. You can also put the roller under it. I might use just this little, it's not going to be big enough. Just let that knee stay open. Just find your breath again and see if neck and shoulders can relax. Really good spot. And you let go of any tension in your face, in your shoulders, in your breath. Maybe put your hands on your belly. Breathe into your hands for a moment. One more inhale. Exhale. And then let your knee come back up to center. Take the ball all the way out. And just see how relaxing those 2 points makes a big difference, hopefully, in the right and left sides of your body. You feel that in the back of the pelvis being flatter, or you might feel that even releasing a little bit of tension in the lower back. And now we'll do the other side. So go ahead and bend your knees again. We're going to start, I'll turn myself around so I can see Start at that upper outer corner of your glute. And just start to test the water, see how it feels. Does it feel different than the other side? Do you need more pressure, less pressure? Do you need to move that ball a tiny bit in or out or down? Up. And once you get the right amount of pressure, go ahead and stay there. You can prop up the leg if you need to. You can take both legs over if you need to. Just really focusing and listening to your body, because the body will tell you exactly where it wants that ball to go. It'll say, ooh, release this. This is tight. And then start to pay attention to the breathing, the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, even your eyebrows. Are they scrunching up? Can you relax them? Just letting your body kind of absorb that ball into it little by little. Just staying there for one more breath. Or longer if you need to stay there longer, but I'm gonna move my ball down just a little bit. I feel like this happens at the same time every day. Must be somebody that just turns up on the street at the same time every day. All right, so the ball's just kind of right in the middle of the bottom, that meaty part. And you can always adjust the ball to where it needs to go. Easy Bear, can you be quiet, please? And if you feel like you've got the right spot, then just let the knee stay open. Just try to let everything relax. Neck and shoulders open up. Letting that ball slowly absorb into your body. Make sure it's not too painful, but that you do have some pressure on there so that you feel like it's releasing tension. I'm just going to stay there for one more nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, bring those knees slowly back to center. Get that ball out from under you. Straighten both of your legs out. And just notice how the back of the pelvis feels. How does the lower back feel? I'm going to have us do a little stretch with the roller now. So pull your roller towards you or grab it and pull it underneath your knees. And we're going to lift our hips up and slide the roller underneath your sacrum. So I'm actually going to pull it a little bit towards the top of the sacrum right now, which makes me, if you can see my back, it kind of makes me arch my back just a little bit. So I don't want it in my lower back. That feels kind of awful. Just a little lower. So that it does give you sort of a lumbar curve. You're not flattening your back, you're not tipping the tail up. So you have that little lumbar curve. And then you're gonna lift one leg up to tabletop and bring the other leg up to tabletop. And I want you to go in and out of having your lumbar curve. So right now we kind of have it, and then we're gonna pull the knees in and tilt the tail up so that we're rounding our spine. You can hold onto the roller, or you can grab your knees and let them fall into you a little farther. But then you're gonna roll back into neutral. We're not going into an arch, like a great big arch here, just more or less neutral. And then again, let the knees curl towards you by moving that spine. You're rounding your lower back and then rolling back to neutral. And again, rounding and rolling back to neutral. Make sure that's feeling comfortable to you. If you need to adjust the roller, move the roller down farther or up higher, feel free. Or if you just like the pressure on the sacrum, you can just hold your knees here. You don't need to do anything. But I'm gonna have you start to pull the knees in and open the knees around and then roll back to neutral and pull the knees together. So you're drawing a little circle. Forward, open the knees, circle around and together. Inhale, open, exhale, around and together. Curving the spine, opening the legs around and together. Okay, one more time, curving the spine, open and around and together. Now just start to rock your knees gently from right to left. And it's small. At the beginning, you're just moving small. But move your knees together. Try not to scissor knees apart. So keep them together as you move the pelvis from side to side. And again, we're just massaging those muscles that kind of connect to your sacrum. And I'm still trying to stay at the top of it. Sometimes it rolls down just a little bit. So kind of where your waistband is. You're massaging the muscles of your lowest part of your back and the upper part of your pelvis. And then I'm going to have you rock a little farther and let your head roll the opposite way. Try to keep your shoulder blades on the floor. Go a little farther. But again, it's up to you. Try to control it from your center so you're not just flopping and falling. Inhale as you roll. Exhale as you pull back to center. Inhale as you roll. Exhale, come back to center. One more time. Inhale, roll. Exhale, come back to center. And this time I'm going to have you roll. I think I'll roll to the right just so you can see me a little bit better. Roll to the right. Take your bottom foot down to the floor. Take your top leg and reach it long on that diagonal. It's kind of parallel with your roller. Pushing through the heel or reaching through the toes, whatever feels better to you. And then take your opposite hand and reach it behind you. Look back at your hands. So you're giving yourself a little spine twist, but you're really pulling your toes one way and your fingers the other way. And just breathe into that stretch for a moment. Feeling length in your waist. Try not to shrug your hip up towards your ear. You want to feel that hip reach away from your ear. And then go ahead and bend your top knee. Roll yourself back to center and bring that other leg back up. Now we're going to go over to the other side. So knees roll first. Bottom foot's going to come down. Top leg's going to reach long in line with the roller. Opposite hand's going to reach out and you're looking back at those fingers. You can support the leg with your other hand if you need to. If you want to feel your waist getting longer, reaching away from your ear, stretching out that body. Fingers and toes are pulling away from each other. And then go ahead and bend that top knee, roll your hips back to center, and then bring both knees up. And we're going to pull the knees towards you again gently, letting your spine curve towards the ceiling or round your tailbone towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to have you just take your hands on the roller and slowly push that roller out from under you. So your spine is lengthening down into the floor, bone by bone. Hopefully it's not pulling your hands off. Just push the roller out of the way. And take a little rock on your back. You can open your knees up a little bit wider. Take a little roll from side to side. And let's start to open up our hips a little more. So we're going to lift our feet up. We're going to either try to grab the outsides of the legs or the insides of your feet. That feels doable. And do a little rock from side to side. This is our happy baby. You can also take your hands around and grab the outsides of the feet. So there's lots of ways to hold on if your hips are open enough to do that. Otherwise, you can just hold on to the outsides of your thighs as well. I'm just starting to get the inner thighs a little bit of opening. Let your pelvic floor relax here. So if you feel like you're having to grip or tighten anywhere, see if you can let go. Let the contents of your body relax. Let your sit bones feel wide and spreading apart. You can even see if you can breathe into your pelvic floor. Imagine that you're letting things open up as you inhale. One more rock from side to side. And then just bring the feet together, like your feet are trying to pray. Turn to face you for a second. Bring your feet together like this. And if you can grab your feet, pull them towards you. You can also use your elbows to push your knees open. But if you can't grab your feet, just grab your ankles or grab your knees. And again, just gently letting the hips open here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have my stretchy band close by, but I want you to grab your band or your belt or your strap or whatever you have. Grab right here. And we're going to take our right foot up into the band. Keep your left leg bent for now, and just cross the band or the strap around your foot, and just start to circle the ankle a little bit. Just getting some warming up in that ankle. And if you have the band over your toes, you can really push into the band with your toes and start to warm up your toes. Just spreading out the toes. And then go the other direction a few times. Good. Now just flex that foot. Try to pull your elbows towards the floor, your collarbone spreading out nice and open. And we're just going to do a little tick-tock with our legs. So we're going to let the leg move out and across the body. If you want this to be more stretchy, take your left leg out on the floor. So you're going across the body and out. Try not to let your hips roll back and forth. So hips are stable, you're feeling your sacrum really anchored into the floor, and the leg is just going side to side. And just do that 3 more times, inhaling and exhaling. One more time. And bring the leg back to center. Open up your band, bend your knee, and let's take that left foot into the band. Right foot can come down onto the floor, or you can straighten it if you want. But starting with the circles of your ankle, if your toes are covered up, you'll get a little more warming up in the toes, a little more work in the ankle and the toes. And then go the other direction. Good, and then flex your foot, slide your right leg straight if you want to, or you can keep it bent. But we're just gonna start to tick-tock that leg side to side. across the midline and out. And it doesn't have to go far out to the side, just a little bit, because we're focusing on stretching these hamstrings. There's 3 different hamstring heads. And you're kind of getting that inner one as you go out to this side, and your outer one as you go across the body. And one more time, out and in. And then bring it back to center. Bend your knee. Take that loop off. And again, just straighten your legs out on the floor. Let your palms face up. Let your legs and shoulders and hips relax. So you're not trying to keep your legs in parallel. If you're more comfortable with knees bent, feel free to bend your knees. And we're just going to close our eyes. I'm going to probably sit up so I can talk to you a little more easily, but just close your eyes. Feel the floor underneath you. Feel the support from the floor underneath you. And feeling yourself supported by the floor, see if you can allow any residual tension in the body to just be released down into the floor. And the floor is then supported by the earth below it. So the earth below it is just soaking up all that tension and letting you be free of it. So feel what the body feels like being supported by the earth below it. Taking nice deep breaths in and out. And it's not that we're taking a breath, we're being given a breath. Every breath we get is a gift. So just feel nice and grateful for this body that you have and for each breath that you get. And allow your body to stay nice and heavy and relaxed. And we're just going to kind of roll our bodies over to one side, slowly waking our bodies up again. Using your top hand to push you up nice and slowly. Okay, I'm just going from laying down to sitting up too fast. Makes me black out or close to blacking out or getting dizzy. So just come on up to a seated position, whatever's comfortable. Give your shoulders a little roll. Take another deep breath. Hopefully everything's feeling a little bit more relaxed than when you started. Certainly feel better in my neck and shoulders. And I'm going to come on over here and unmute you guys so we can all say hi again. Unmute. Say hi. Hi, guys.
Amy.
Hi, everybody. Oh, my goodness.
Hi, Amy.
I want to take a picture of you guys. Everybody smile. I'm going to take a picture. Don't worry, I'm going to post this anyway. I just smile. Okay, thank you. All right, you ladies, lovely ladies.
Thanks, Amy.
Hi, Cheryl. Did I see you at the beginning?
I got in right at 10.
Oh, good. Okay, good. I must have written you down then. Awesome.
All right.
Well, take
See you
care.
next week.
Thanks,
Amy.
Great. And if you ever
Thank you,
want
Amy.
any other classes, I usually send them out to everybody. So feel free to hop on there.
Okay.
Great. See you guys.
Super.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I love you, Amy.
I love you too.